One was Peter Doherty, the Irish player, and he in the finish he signed me when I left school.
Wow.
He was the manager of Doncaster Rovers, and he wanted to sign me at 15, and my dad says, no way are you going to play football. And he says, you're going to learn a trade. And with that, Peter got me a job as a fitter and turner at on the railway sheds at Doncaster. And I keep my grandkids, I keep telling them, I actually drove the Flying Scotsman. He come in one day with the engine, and he's got a hot box, what we call, and of course I went only as assistant to the fitter. I was an apprentice, you see, and he just give me one or two little things to do. I played for the railway team, and I didn't seem to be getting anywhere. And fortunately, we got a scout in our village for the Wolves, and one of Mark Crook's men, and I had a couple of games for them, and of course I signed for the Wolves. I was in the RAF, and we was doing something anyway. They was in the billet, and the flight sergeant, he comes in and he says, "Who's Flowers?" You know, and of course I, put my hand up. I am. And he says, "Well, you better get your coat on," he says, "and get off down to the Wolves." He says, "They want you to play on Saturday." And this was on a Thursday or something like that. So I came down that Thursday evening. I was only at Cosford. It was 20 minutes on the train, and did some training, and Joe Gardner, he had me and told me, and so I made my debut on the Saturday. A good team, Bill Wright, Johnny Hancock, Jesse Pye, Bert Williams. That was a hell of a side. I weren't nervous. Stan came to me. He put me down prior to the match as a centre half, and he moved Bill Wright back to wing half. So I was in there, and he says, "What I want you to do," he says, "line up." He says, "and as soon as you line up, Bill will drop into centre half, and you go back to your wing half position," and that's what we did. And now I think it did Bill Wright more good, because Bill played till he was 30 or nearly 40, and that extended his career, because he, centre half in them days, it was just stand there and knock it away, where the wing halves were up and down and doing all the graft. I read it in the paper, that I was in the squad, and of course all the lads were saying, "You might get a game," because there was only three or four wing halves, and that's what I did. I had a game. I made my debut behind Stan Matthews. Yeah. And well, that's what I thought about, you know. And Morty was centre forward as well. Don Revie played, you know, and I'm there, you know, I'm just looking round. And
was that at Wembley?
no, it was at Paris, in Paris. The Saint Germain, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was going to. It was. I was. Remember, I was only 18 then, young lad, never, you know. And I'm with the stars, you know. And Stan Matthews, he was, you know, the idol, and Morty, and it was a different game for me, because well, obviously Stan Matthews was the dribbler and that, so obviously he wanted the ball at his feet, you know, and whereas when I was playing for the Wolves, Johnny Hancock was right wing and Jimmy Mullin was another left wing, and it was a question of, they were flyers, you know, they could motor a bit, get the ball in front of them and let them, you know. So I'm thinking, you know, I'm waiting for Stan Matthews to make the run, you know, and he wanted the ball at his feet. So he was, you know, I wasn't quite so sure what I do, whether I get in trouble with him or not, because he said, here, you know.